Hi, welcome to your Scorpio New Moon Pick a Card reading. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I'm Laura. The pick a card will be for the general collective, so not everybody's messages will come through, but what you'll do is you're going to just exercise your intuitive abilities and select the pile that you think speaks to you. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. And I'm going to go through that in just a second with some more information. But first, I'm also going to do a corresponding extended. This reading will be a little bit shorter, so I can get all 3 readings in. And then the extended, I'm going to be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic. A little on the risque side, but we'll be looking at your more intimate compatibilities, like what's going on in the connection when it comes to intimacy, things that happen behind closed doors. So I just want to make you aware of that right now up front before I forget, because if you go to the link to the extended, I want to be sure that you're up for that kind of convo, because it will be a little more on the explicit side. It's intended for 18 and over. And so if that sort of stuff bothers you, then you know those extendeds won't be for you. Otherwise, you may get a whole new understanding of what's going on behind the scenes, especially since this new moon is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is sort of like that regeneration, death and rebirth, and shedding an old skin, as it were. And there's so much, there's sheer force of will and power and determination in this new moon. Always endings and new beginnings, intentions being set now so that we can manifest by the full moon. So there's so much energy happening, but in this particular new moon, there's a lot of releasing of old energy, a lot of releasing of what doesn't serve. And we usually do that more around the full moon, but it's really important to do at this particular new moon in Scorpio. So what you're going to do now is take a look at pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. I've also got corresponding stones. This one, pile number 1, has Amazonite. Amazonite is a stone that's good for courage and truth, speaking your truth, speaking truth to power, having the courage to do so. It also is healing for the heart and throat chakras. So that's pile number 1, stone, crystal. These are polished. Pile number 2 has pyrite, also known as fool's gold. I don't know if you can see with this lighting, but it kind of sparkles a little bit, like it's got little gold flecks in it. At where it's chipped away. And pyrite is good luck. It's good luck. It's also got a protective quality to it. So if you're trying to protect your energies during this new moon, pyrite's a good choice for you. This is amethyst in pile number 3. Amethyst is also a good stone for protecting your energies, but it's also good for warding off and cleansing negative energy. So if you've been in contact with some negative energy in recent days and you just want to move away from it, you can work with amethyst to do that. Amethyst is also spiritual protection. So, you know, some people talk about energy vampires, things like that, but I don't know that I buy into that as much, but I do understand that there are times when you walk into a situation and you know you're going to need protection. And that, you know, this is a good stone for that. It's also, so energetic cleansing, spiritual protection, and healing properties. So now what I'm going to have you do is take in a deep breath and take a look at the piles, release your breath, and make a choice. Ready? Deep breath in. Release. And now take a second to zero in on the energy that speaks to you the most. Okay, got your pile? I hope so. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move pile number 3 and pile number 2 out of the way. That's 3. And this is pile number 2. And we're going to start with pile number 1. And, you know, be gentle with yourself if you picked pile number 1 and the message isn't really coming through clearly, but you get to pile number 2 and you're like, oh my gosh, that's me. It's okay. Our intuition is a fluid thing, and as intuitive as I feel I am, I love watching pick-a-cards. I just think they're so much fun. And I get it wrong a lot of the time, but I get close. I get close. So it's all just good fun. Anyway, I'm going to start with the cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. All the decks, there are links, affiliate links to Amazon, to the decks below, just so you know. Ooh. Extremes. That just looks racy right from the start. It's associated with the hot moon. That makes sense. It's exactly what I'm talking about with you Scorpios. All right, so let's see. Learn how to handle crises with calm and resilience. Seeking balance is superior to seeking extremes. There are better ways to handle conflict than rage and outrage. All right, so I think there's a message of balance here for you. And then what I did was I pulled 3 Lenormand cards for each pile. And we'll see what kind of message comes through. We have the masks. Oh. We have the anchor. And we have the well. So the well is about looking deeper, taking a deeper look. The anchor is sort of about stability, security, getting on solid ground. And the mask, it can be duplicity, it can be deception, but it can also be about seeing something at face value, but it isn't what it really is. Okay? So if I were to read a story from this, I would say stability will be found by looking deeper than face value. So whatever's going on here, you need to take a deeper look beyond all outward appearances. So let's go with that. And in fact, if you don't mind indulging me, I saw a post today. Yeah, this one was by Alex Miles, one of my favorite people on Facebook and Instagram with regard to astrology. Scorpio new moon, old bridges are burning, time to release toxicity. And it says, be prepared for sudden and positive shift. Try not to silence or override your intuition, emotional, mental, and spiritual improvements. Pay attention when masks and illusions fall away. So it goes on, but I knew I saw that word masks and it just jogged my memory. But yeah, I feel like this Scorpio new moon is about getting real, both with ourselves, digging deeper, and with others, and seeing things as they really are. So let's see what comes out in your reading. Okay, first card is going to be you. The other person you're dealing with. The center card will be your connection, and you'll be the last card. So first card, oh boy, 9 of Swords. Card for the connection, 6 of Swords. Lots of mental energy here. That could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius you might be dealing with. And then you're coming through as, Hanged Man. Hanged Man is represented by Pisces and Neptune, so it's got a dreamy quality to it. A lot of people misinterpret the Hanged Man. They think it's like, Hanged Man, yikes. But no, this is a desire. This is on purpose. It's like you're hanging out to sort of wait for a sign. In a lot of decks, you'll see light at this Hanged Man's head, which is enlightenment, waiting for enlightenment. And I just noticed when I was looking down that the imagery here between the well and Hanged Man is very interesting. Look at that. We have that beam going across in both. The well is all tied up, the man is all tied up, and both are pointing down. It's almost like you and the bucket are the same energy here, going deeper within for answers. I like that. So fascinating when those kinds of things happen. Now, okay, so if this is the person who might be wearing a mask, all that means, and here's what I want to say about this, they're coming through here as this Nine of Swords. This is the card in the other decks where you see a woman sitting up with, her hands over her face. She's just riddled with anxiety. And in this one, it's a little different. It looks like pretty powerful fists that are all tied up. It almost makes me feel like this person, they're struggling. There's mental anguish here. There's instability here and they can't break free themselves. It's got them there, and it's by their own design. So this isn't being put upon them, as we can often see with the Nine of Swords. This is their energy. So if they're acting like, if you had this extremes, if there was an argument or something that went down and between you and another person, and they're acting like everything's hunky-dory, they're okay, no sweat. Yeah, no. That's what this means by don't take that at face value. They are really struggling. They are really upset and suffering. At the very least, they're anxious. At the worst, there can be some mental instability. And I only say that because we've got the Anchor card, which is about stability. But I'm wondering if there's like a message here for you. Look deep within. Don't take any fast steps. Slow your roll. Pull back. Make sure you're seeing this picture clearly and not just what's on the surface. Your stability depends on it. But then in the connection, I see the Six of Swords, which is balance. That's what this Extremes card asks you to do. It said, don't, rage and outrage isn't going to serve you right now. Balance is going to serve you. The extremes are not going to serve you. It almost feels like this person can't handle the extremes. Or they live in the extremes. And that's all they know. And this is saying, yeah, that's not good for you. You need to move to calmer waters. This connection, it's a 6. 6 of 6 is about balance. So I feel like the message here coming is that the stability is about retaining some balance. And that's pretty powerful for some of you, not many. This is probably a specific message. It's just coming up from my psych background. You may be dealing with somebody who has an emotional, like a legit diagnosed imbalance. And they're not in a good place right now. So balance is important. Helping them avoid the extremes and not contributing to it is important. But doing some deep inner work for yourself is key to your balance. Not taking any hasty action. Not lashing out with rage or outrage over a situation. Don't see what's just on the surface. Dig deeper. I feel that's important for some of you. For others, this is just a tiff and somebody, and I'm not going to say just a tiff because none of them are fun or good, but it feels like you're moving to calmer waters, these choppy waters, you're leaving them behind. The boat is setting off for calmer seas and a safer shore. So that's the positive take on the Six of Swords is, yeah, there's going to be, calm is on the horizon, but I really think the message here for you is to take no sudden action, to just observe from a safe vantage point, and look deeper than, face value, than skin level. Like, go deeper. All right, so now, when we go to the extended, I will look at the intimate aspects of this connection. Okay, so if you felt like I was tapping into something that's occurring in your life or a situation with another person, then you may want to follow that to get more information that goes a bit deeper. If not, hang out for pile 2. Let's see what that brings. Okay. Pile 2. The pyrite pile. Let's look at the resilience. That's a waning moon. It's interesting because it reminds me of the Ten of Wands. You know, in most tarot decks, the Ten of Wands has this figure hunched over carrying the 10 wands on his back, and it's a card of resilience, but it's like also laying the burden down. Like you're just about to lay that burden down. It's done. It's over. Whatever has happened is behind you, and it's time to move past it. So we'll see what this card says. Card 21 is, ooh, this is interesting. Making mistakes builds resilience. I have learned my lessons from the mistakes I have made. I stand strong and I act with self-responsibility. This figure doesn't exactly look like she's standing strong, but the concept is don't let your mistakes defeat you. Learn your lessons, accept responsibility for what you brought to the party, and be resilient. Bounce back up. That's a good message, especially for this Scorpio moon. I feel like that's a very powerful message because we want to release what isn't going to help us going forward. We want to release negative energies. We want to release pain from the past, mistakes from the past. It's like shedding a skin. That's why I like its regeneration. There's second chances involved. I think Scorpio has 3 symbols. It has the scorpion, of course. Then its next evolution is as the eagle, and then its third is as the phoenix rising from the ashes. So if you think about that journey, this feels very much like rising from the ashes. Okay, let's look what Lenormand has to say. Ah, the moon, romance, emotion. Okay, so maybe there was a struggle here of a romantic nature. Compass, direction, guidance with regard to romance. And the sun, look at that. That's amazing. I love that. The sun is success and happiness, like coming through something successfully. It can also be a new path. And being that we have the compass here, I almost feel like that's kind of the message, that there may be guidance. You're being guided toward a new path regarding romance. A new romantic path is, you are being guided toward it. I like that. Let's see your cards here. Remember, the first one out is the other person. Oh, 7 of Pentacles. That's nice. The connection. 10 of Cups. Yes. Oh, love this card. This is the ultimate. This feels twin flame soulmate-ish right now. And it's interesting because it may involve someone from that you've been dealing with, but I also feel there's something new on the horizon, but that's only from the sun. Let's see what your card is. Oh, yeah, 5 of Cups. Regrets, loss. This card can represent, now this card, I'm just going to backtrack a moment, being Pentacles, you could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If not, whoever this person is they're being very patient. They've planted seeds to sort of, they're waiting for the abundance of the harvest, okay? Because Pentacles can be about tangible things. and stability and security. And if I was doing any other kind of reading, we'd be talking about doing the work and then getting the payoff, right? But this feels like whoever this person is, maybe somebody new coming on your path, a new romantic person coming on your path that you might not even know. And it feels like whoever they are may have planted the seeds, and they're being super ultra patient as they know that when you appear, it will be beautiful, abundant, and delicious. Oh, pile 2. Isn't that sweet? I mean, that's the energy I get from this. See, I mean, they got the ladder ready and everything, but there's a patience to this. And it is work. If you're trying to manifest the connection of a lifetime, if you're trying to manifest a lifelong partner and partnership and love, where no cups ever run out, if you're trying to manifest that, man, that's hard work. And that takes a lot of patience and perseverance. And cleaning up your side of the street and making sure you've done your inner work. And here you are, pile 2, bent over, sobbing over 3 cups that are spilled, not even recognizing that there are 2 cups standing bolt upright right behind you, full to the rim. And it feels like this card can be regrets, like maybe something went wrong. And I say that because this was about making mistakes and owning, like learning the lessons and owning up to it, right? So maybe that's what happened. And you're sad over that. It can also be about betrayal. It can be about abandonment, loss. But right now I just feel there's some regret here. But a new day is dawning, and it's hard for you to see, but it's so interesting that this comes up under the sun. Because if you look at the coloration of the sun coming up behind, like the sky coloration is the same as the color. It's almost like this is the sun that's rising. Or setting on this scenario, right? Either way, the coloration was just catching my eye. But I feel like we have to get you out of this energy. This is about release and forgiveness and being resilient and letting go. This is the Scorpio new moon is about release and letting go and regeneration. And you're being given and gifted, I feel gifted and guided to this. That's what's on your path. That's what's on the menu, pile 2, 10 of cups. So I almost feel like, yeah, okay, this time, this new moon, I want you to write down, it's done. It is done. It is over. It is behind me. I am resilient. I am open to receive the guidance that is coming in regarding a new path for love and emotion. I'm open to encountering the person who's being guided to me, who's planted the seeds long ago and is ready to claim the harvest. Because, pile 2, for those of you watching, you wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to better yourself. You wouldn't be here watching readings like this if you weren't trying to ascend on some level, if there wasn't something awakening, like a click in your head. And yet we're still humans in meat suits having a human experience, right? And we're going to mess it up. That's part of the plan. But this is about, okay, it's time to lay that burden down, make peace with yourself, forgive yourself, because so much goodness is coming on the path for you. And right now, the only part of this scenario that doesn't fit is this energy. Turn around, acknowledge that Two of Cups. And then wait. Keep your eyes open, but wait for it to appear because it's on its way to you. Possibly in the form of an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, somebody who's rock steady and solid and stable. Regardless of their sign, they might have a lot of earth in their chart. But they're planners. This person is deliberate, is planning. Oh, I just love this part of the reading for you. I really do. Now, of course, because I feel this is talking about a new someone coming on your path, that doesn't have to be. It can be that you feel bad, something went down, you feel bad at what you brought to the situation, and you're going to forgive yourself, and you're being guided to a new level of stability in this connection. And that person is waiting with open arms. So it could be that. But I just feel like I feel you're being guided to something new. And so if you want to know what kind of compatibility you're going to have with this person, intimately speaking, link to pile 2 extended reading will be below. Otherwise, hang out. Let's watch what pile 3. Let's see what they get. Okay, my pile 3, my amethyst healing, loving beauties that you are. Let's see what you've got. You're, blossoming flower moon. I don't know if you can see this, but her entire skirt is made of flowers. It's really, really pretty. So let me read. Oh, and it's card number 33. That's like an angel number. You don't even reduce that. That's good luck. Oh, I like this message. Here we go, pile 3. Do not give up. You have planned for this. Take no notice of what others think or say about you. Open and rise. Mark your victories. This is interesting because open and rise feels like blossom where you're planted, right? Bloom where you're planted. Open and rise. That's beautiful. Don't give up, though. Don't give up. Big key, important. That's part of the message. So let's see what we're not giving up on. Oh. This is faith. Is obviously some people struggle with that cross card because it can be representative of death, but I think it's more about fate. Things needing to die off so something new can come on your path. The lilies, that's a message of from beyond. Oh, and the storks. Maybe there's someone here who's waiting on a new arrival. I mean, that's a literal translation. But the thing with the storks is that, first of all, they mate for life. Interesting fun fact. They also return every year. The most predictable thing about them is that they return to the same nest every year at springtime. But what I like about the storks is that they represent change. Sometimes the change is sudden. It's like everything's going along predictable. Twist. It's like something gets shook up. Sudden change, unexpected change, but not necessarily anything negative. Like adjustments might have to be made, but nothing that isn't desirable. Like when you're expecting a baby, you got to make a lot of adjustments for that, right? It's sudden change in the household and lifestyles, but it's warm and it's welcome. That's what this card feels to me. Sudden changes that are welcome, a welcome relief. Here we have the lilies. To me, this always feels like we've got, because there's some hints towards ancestral guidance in this card. It does represent peace, but it's almost like it's being sent from beyond. And I love that these lilies, which they're real and so they can die, but behind them is the stained glass version of lilies. So it's almost like in the foreground we see the lilies as they live and breathe in this incarnation, and then behind them they're forever encapsulated in the stained glass that will never go away. Does that make sense? So I almost feel like the here and the after, but it's about peace. Yeah, so something sudden, something is changed that will bring peace. And with this, I'm just going to say it's like, I just feel like it's a sudden twist of fate will bring peace. That's kind of nice, pile 3. Oh, and I love how we have the blossoming card right over the lilies. Yes. Don't give up. You've planned for this. That's the message coming from your ancestors. Whoever's watching over you, your spirit guides, your angels, you know who they are. They're saying don't give up. You planned for this. And there's like a sudden twist of fate coming in that's going to bring some peace and beauty to your life. All right, let's see what the tarot has for you. The other person. 5 of Swords. Not my favorite card, but we'll make it work. Could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The connection. Oh, 10 of Cups again. Same position. Wow. Oh my, pile 2 and pile 3. Yep, this is a very important new moon for you to set your intentions, because this is on both your both pile 2 and 3 on both your paths. And then you're coming through as Knight of Wands. A little fire energy there. Knight of Wands can get a bad rap. Knight of Wands is often described as somebody who's in and out, who kind of comes in fast and furious and passionate and then is out the door. Can also be the booty call card. It's like... But it's also somebody who just cycles in and out of your life a lot. So if you're doing that with someone else, own up. But one of the characteristics I love of the Knight of Wands is that, they take action, but they're coming in with a tremendous amount of will and passion. They're they're coming in to claim what's theirs. And that might sound very swashbuckling-esque, but if you're watching this, you know what this is about. You have planned for this. You have waited for this. Do not give up. Bloom where you've been planted and claim what's yours. From a point of love and compassion, but passion is a big part of the word compassion. Because this is what's being offered up in this connection. This is the potential in this connection. Now, only thing that doesn't seem to fit here is this 5 of Swords. Again, air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but could just be that this feels like a hollow victory. This person has gone to battle over something with someone. And it feels like a dog with a bone. They weren't willing to let it go until the other person said, yeah, okay, you're right. So once that happens, what happens? When that happens and you're back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then the other person finally lets go and says, yeah, okay, so fine, you're right. There's almost like, I won, there's victory, but it's hollow. It's like I won the battle, but have I lost the war? There is an upside to this card, and that is that there's an opportunity to change the outcome, to course correct. And I feel like this twist of fate that may be coming in will bring peace to whatever this situation is. So the peace is referring to whatever this other person who you're dealing with, whatever entanglement or war of words that's gone on between you. Don't give up on them. There's some twist of fate that is going to bring peace to this and resolve that and melt it away and give this person an opportunity to save face, course correct, and choose another approach. That's the energy I'm getting, and I'm getting it because of this Ten of Cups. So this isn't a connection to trifle with. But I'm also getting it because you're like, yeah, this is what I want. So when I look at this lineup, I'm going to hold it up the way I see it when I'm looking down at it. So when I'm looking down at it, I see you looking at this Ten of Cups, and this person's back is to it. And that's the energy that needs to shift. And this person is being granted an opportunity, a twist of fate to see things a different way and change their approach. And I think it's going to be successful. You got the Do Not Give Up blossoming card of the flower moon. You've got guidance from ancestors, guardian angels, spirit guides looking out for you to bring you this peace and something more beautiful and long-lasting. And something does have to die off, and it might just be this person's stubbornness. But this is a very fated connection. I say that because we have fate, and we have the storks who mate for life, and we have the Ten of Cups. So I would say don't give up. And with that, we're going to explore this connection in the extended on a more intimate level. Again, as I mentioned, I'll be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic. The images will not be for those under the age of 18, and just wanted to make sure that in case you jumped in late and weren't paying attention in the beginning, it's for adults who are open to discussing what goes on behind closed doors. And it will be a full spread, a full 9-card spread. The other person, you, and the connection. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of exciting, especially for a new moon. I wish you all an easy new moon in Scorpio. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to do so. That would mean so much to me and help others get to see the video as well. And until next time, take care.